Hello, BBN. Where are we on the big prospect saying, Kada? Who are the strong contenders? Duke, North Carolina, or Kansas? Let's take a look. Welcome, and subscribe to the channel to receive more news from the hot guys. The recruitment of Kada, one of the most promising centers of the new generation, is becoming a true battle between college basketball giants. Kentucky, with its tradition of attracting international and national talent, seems to be in a privileged position, but the threats are real and come from all sides. Duke, Kansas, and North Carolina are in the running, and each of these programs has solid arguments to try to lure the young Spaniard. Kada's visit to Lexington was a crucial step in the player's decision-making process. He has already demonstrated that he is a prospect ready to make an immediate impact at the college level. His performance at the NBPA Top 100 camp and the NBA Academy games was remarkable, especially his scoring, rebounding, and block shots, which demonstrate his versatility and dominance on the court. Mark Pope and his staff are certainly aware of the transformative potential Kada can bring to the program and are expected to be in close contact with the player during this crucial period. Duke, as always, is a formidable competitor. Kada's connection with Dame Sarr, his former teammate at Barcelona and now a freshman at Duke, could be a significant factor in the center's decision. Furthermore, Jon Scheyer's reputation for developing players for the NBA is unquestionable, and this could weigh heavily on Kada's decision. The Duke program has an impressive track record with international players and offers an unparalleled global platform for those seeking maximum visibility. Kansas, on the other hand, should not be underestimated either. The program led by Bill Self is typically a machine for producing top centers, and the infrastructure available in Lawrence is top-notch. Kada's initial visit to Kansas indicates that mutual interest is real, and the Jayhawks could use their recent track record of success to convince the center. But perhaps the biggest surprise in this race comes from North Carolina. With Hubert Davis, the Tar Heels have been working to rebuild their identity after a transitional season. Although still in the process of revamping, UNC managed to bring back Henri Vizar, a significant name in the transfer portal, which shows the program is committed to strengthening its position in the paint. Kada's arrival could be a turning point for the Tar Heels in future classes, and Davis has shown a knack for creating personal connections with recruits. This personalized approach could be the key to surprising their more high-profile rivals and securing the Spaniards' commitment. What makes this race so fascinating is the diversity of arguments each program offers. Kentucky is banking on its tradition of excellence and the charisma of Mark Pope, while Duke relies on its global network and its connection with Sarr. Kansas highlights its expertise in developing large centers, and North Carolina is looking to leverage its history and the opportunity to be part of something special under construction. Whichever team is chosen, the impact on the selected program will be immense. For Kentucky, expectations are high, and Mark Pope is expected to be in direct contact with the player, reinforcing the program's commitment to integrating him into its long-term vision. Will he come? What do you think? The 2025-26 season for the Kentucky Wildcats under Mark Pope promises to be a fascinating laboratory to test how far the program can go, or rather, how far its players can take it. 247 Sports analyst Isaac Trotter raised a crucial question that could determine the Wildcats' fate this season. Will the point guard and center positions be solid enough to elevate the team from good to great? This question reflects not only the current roster, but also Pope and his work in Lexington. Jalen Lowe, the Pitt transfer point guard, faces high expectations and some doubts at Kentucky. Lowe is a player with undeniable skills, especially when it comes to executing the most lethal plays in modern basketball. His ability to break down defenses with quick, precise decisions has already been demonstrated in brilliant moments during his time at Pitt. However, there are questions about his shooting efficiency last season, something fans hope to see improved in Pope's offensive system. Everyone expects Pope to work well with the recruit. The center position carries an equally significant burden on the Wildcats. The absence of Amari Williams, an elite center who mastered reading the game from the top of the key, has left a significant void on the roster. Brandon Garrison, who returns to the team with some experience in Pope's system, is seen as an immediate solution, but remains to be seen whether he can perform at the same level of excellence as Williams. Furthermore, Jaden Quaintance, who faced limitations during his rehabilitation, still needs to show he can adapt to the demands of playing center in Pope's dynamic style. The ability to find a reliable player at that position could determine whether Kentucky can sustain its offense against more physical and aggressive defenses throughout the season. Trotter was right to point out that the performance of these two positions, point guard and center, will be the deciding factor in Kentucky's success. If both teams work in sync, this could be one of the three best teams in the country, with a real chance of competing for the national title. However, if these pieces fail to deliver consistency, the team ceiling may be limited, even within a group already considered strong. The good news for fans is that, even in a pessimistic scenario, Kentucky would still be a solid top 25 team in the national rankings. Can we believe that's a good thing? The exhibition game against Purdue, scheduled for a month after the start of training camp, will be the first major test to assess the team's progress. It will be an opportunity for Lowe to show that he can be the maestro Kentucky needs, and for the centers to demonstrate that they are ready to take on the responsibility of leading the paint. Until then, there are weeks of hard work ahead, with tactical adjustments, individual development, and building chemistry among the players. The 2025-26 season is a mix of optimism and curiosity. They know they have a team capable of competing at a high level, but they also understand that success will depend on clear answers to the questions surrounding their point guard and center. If Jalen Lowe can guide the offense intelligently and efficiently, and if someone like Brandon Garrison or another emerging surprise can fill the reliable center role, the Wildcats will have everything they need to reach extraordinary heights. Otherwise, they'll still be competitive, but perhaps lacking the sparkle needed to rank among the best in the country. Everyone expects a great performance from the Cats this season. The Wildcats program has demonstrated in recent years that it is capable of competing at a high level, and with consistent NCAA tournament appearances, the focus now turns to what could be the most impactful recruiting class of the 21st century for the university. We could land the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 class, and Pope is already laying the foundation with care and precision. CBS Sports Analysis reinforces this possibility. According to writer Kyle Boone, Kentucky is well-positioned to attract some of the top 10 talents in the country, including names like Tyron Stokes, Jordan Smith, Cameron Williams, and Caleb Holt. All but Dylan Mingo have already received offers from the Wildcats, demonstrating that Pope's team not only identifies top talent, but also acts quickly to ensure they arrive. What sets Kentucky apart under Pope is the balance between science and sensitivity in recruiting. Boone emphasized that Pope's team is analytical, rigorously evaluating both the physical form and character of the athletes, understanding that the program's success goes beyond statistics. It requires assembling a cohesive group capable of competing as a team, both on and off the court. This meticulous approach is a direct reflection of Pope's philosophy, which not only aims to recruit big names, but also create an environment that maximizes each player's growth. Strategic use of the transfer portal is a key differentiator. Pope and his staff understand that if more experienced players are available who can immediately fit into the roster and strengthen the locker room, it's worth incorporating them. Still, the priority is clear: to keep Kentucky among the top destinations for young high school talent and thus strengthen the prospect of achieving the top spot in the 2026 class. The hard work of Pope and his staff is evident, and the horizon is promising. It's not just about promising, but about building, step by step, a recruiting class that can define a strong program. Leave your comments.